Norway, officially the Kingdom of Norway, is a Nordic country in northern Europe, the mainland territory of which comprises the western and northernmost portion of the Scandinavian peninsula. The remote Arctic island of January Mayen and the archipelago of Svalbard also form part of Norway. Norway has an extensive coastline, facing the North Atlantic Ocean and the Barents Sea. The maritime influence dominates Norway's climate, with mild lowland temperatures on the sea coasts. The interior, while colder, is also a lot milder than areas elsewhere in the world on such northerly latitudes. Even during polar night in the north, temperatures above freezing are commonplace on the coastline. The maritime influence brings high rainfall and snowfall to some areas of the country. At 385,207 square kilometers, much of the country is dominated by mountainous or high terrain, with a great variety of natural features caused by prehistoric glaciers and varied topography. The most noticeable of these are the fjords, deep grooves cut into the land flooded by the sea following the end of the Ice Age. Sognefjorden is the world's second deepest fjord, and the world's longest at 204 kilometers. Hornindalsvatnet is the deepest lake in all Europe. Norway has about 400,000 lakes. There are 239,057 registered islands. Permafrost can be found all year in the higher mountain areas and in the interior of Finnmark County. Numerous glaciers are found in Norway. The land is mostly made of hard granite and gneiss rock, but slate, sandstone, and limestone are also common, and the lowest elevations contain marine deposits. Because of the Gulf Stream and prevailing westerlies, Norway experiences higher temperatures and more precipitation than expected at such northern latitudes, especially along the coast. The mainland experiences 4 distinct seasons, with colder winters and less precipitation inland. The northernmost part has a mostly maritime subarctic climate, while Svalbard has an Arctic tundra climate. Because of the large latitudinal range of the country and the varied topography and climate, Norway has a larger number of different habitats than almost any other European country. There are approximately 60,000 species in Norway and adjacent waters. The Norwegian shelf large marine ecosystem is considered highly productive. The southern and western parts of Norway, fully exposed to Atlantic storm fronts, experience more precipitation and have milder winters than the eastern and far northern parts. Areas to the east of the coastal mountains are in a rain shadow, and have lower rain and snow totals than the west. The lowlands around Oslo have the warmest summers, but also cold weather and snow in wintertime. The sunniest weather is along the south coast, but sometimes even the coast far north can be very sunny. The sunniest month with 430 sun hours was recorded in Tromsø. Because of Norway's high latitude, there are large seasonal variations in daylight. From late May to late July, the sun never completely descends beneath the horizon in areas north of the Arctic Circle. Norway's description is and the rest of the country experiences up to 20 hours of daylight per day. Conversely, from late November to late January, the sun never rises above the horizon in the north, and daylight hours are very short in the rest of the country. The coastal climate of Norway is exceptionally mild compared with areas on similar latitudes elsewhere in the world, with the Gulf Stream passing directly offshore the northern areas of the Atlantic coast, continuously warming the region in the winter. Temperature anomalies found in coastal locations are exceptional, with southern Lofoten and Bo having all monthly means above freezing in spite of being north of the Arctic Circle. The very northernmost coast of Norway would thus be ice-covered in winter if not for the Gulf Stream. The east of the country has a more continental climate, and the mountain ranges have subarctic and tundra climates. There is also higher rainfall in areas exposed to the Atlantic, especially the western slopes of the mountain ranges and areas close, such as Bergen. The valleys east of the mountain ranges are the driest. Some of the valleys are sheltered by mountains in most directions. Saltdal in Nordland is the driest place with 211 mm precipitation annually. In southern Norway, Skjak in Inlandet get 295 mm precipitation. Finnmarksvidda and some interior valleys of Troms receive around 400 mm annually, and the high Arctic Longyearbyen 217 mm. Parts of southeastern Norway including parts of Mjøsa have a humid continental climates, while the southern and western coasts and also the coast north to Bodo have a oceanic climate, while the outer coast further north almost to North Cape have a subpolar oceanic climate. Further inland in the south and at higher altitudes, and also in much of northern Norway, the subarctic climate dominates. A small strip of land along the coast east of North Cape earlier had tundra, alpine, polar climate, but this is mostly gone with the updated 1991-2020 climate normals, making this also subarctic. Large parts of Norway are covered by mountains and high-altitude plateaus, and about one-third of the land is above the treeline and thus exhibit tundra, alpine, polar climate. The total number of species includes 16,000 species of insects, 20,000 species of algae, 1,800 species of lichen, 1,050 species of mosses, 2,800 species of vascular plants, up to 7,000 species of fungi, 450 species of birds, 90 species of mammals, 45 freshwater species of fish, 150 saltwater species of fish, 1,000 species of freshwater invertebrates, and 3,500 species of saltwater invertebrates. About 40,000 of these species have been described by science. The Red List of 2010 encompasses 4,599 species. Norway contains 5 terrestrial ecoregions: Sarmatic mixed forests, Scandinavian coastal conifer forests, Scandinavian and Russian taiga, Kola Peninsula tundra, and Scandinavian montane birch forest and grasslands. The largest predator in Norwegian waters is the sperm whale, and the largest fish is the basking shark. The largest predator on land is the polar bear, while the brown bear is the largest predator on the Norwegian mainland. The largest land animal on the mainland is the elk. The elk in Norway is known for its size and strength and is often called Skogens konge, king of the forest. Attractive and dramatic scenery and landscape are found throughout Norway. The west coast of southern Norway and the coast of northern Norway present some of the most visually impressive coastal sceneries in the world. National Geographic has listed the Norwegian fjords as the world's top tourist attraction. The country is also home to the natural phenomena of the midnight sun during summer, as well as the aurora borealis, known also as the Northern Lights. The 2016 Environmental Performance Index from Yale University, Columbia University and the World Economic Forum put Norway in 17th place, immediately below Croatia and Switzerland. The index is based on environmental risks to human health, habitat loss, and changes in CO2 emissions. The classical music of the Romantic composers Edvard Grieg, Rikard Nordraak and Johan Svensson is internationally known, as is the modern music of Arne Nordheim. Norway's classical performers include Leif Ove Ansnes, one of the world's more famous pianists, Truls Mork, an outstanding cellist, and the great Wagnerian soprano Kirsten Flagstad. Norway has a strong folk music tradition which remains popular to this day. Among the most prominent folk musicians are Hardanger fiddlers Andrea Een, Olav Jorgen Hegg and Annbjørg Leen, and the vocalists Agnes Buen Garnes, Kirsten Bradenberg and Odd Nordstoga. The history of Norwegian literature starts with the pagan Eddaic poems and skaldic verse of the 9th and 10th centuries, with poets such as Bragi Baudisson and Eyvinder Skaldaspiller. The arrival of Christianity around the year 1000 brought Norway into contact with European medieval learning, hagiography and history writing. Merged with native oral tradition and Icelandic influence, this influenced the literature written in the late 12th and early 13th centuries. Major works of that period include Historia Norwegie, Saga and Konings Skuggsja. Little Norwegian literature came out of the period of the Scandinavian Union and the subsequent Dano-Norwegian Union, with some notable exceptions such as Petter Dass and Ludvig Holberg. In his play Peer Gynt, Ibsen characterized this period as twice 200 years of darkness brooded o'er the race of monkeys. The first line of this couplet is frequently quoted. During the union with Denmark, the government imposed using only written Danish, which decreased the writing of Norwegian literature.
Stay tuned with the channel. We will glad to see you next time.